What is up, you guys? You're watching Sergio's Secret. Before I get started with today's video, if you could please give this video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. I post a video on contemporary and designer fashion, so if that interests you, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. And if anything that I'm talking about, including what I'm wearing, I'm gonna go ahead and link it down below for you guys so it's easy for you to navigate. And today's video is going to be my stupidest luxury purchases of 2021 so far. And I feel like going forward, I'm not gonna be making like a lot of dumb purchases. I recently did a closet sale. I sold like almost like $4,000 worth of stuff. I'm about to have like another one sell like $4,000 worth of other stuff. I used to work in designer sales, and I don't know if this video will come out by the time, I don't know what video is gonna come out first, but there is a video called the negative things of working in luxury retail and the overconsumption that I made, where I would literally spend way more than what I made in there, like thousands of dollars, you know, every single month, like in a stupid excessive amount. And obviously I could afford the lifestyle, I can afford to, you know, pay for that and all that stuff because I have, you know, other jobs and other streams, so everything would kind of like even out, everything would be great. I also have enough to rent and to save and invest and stuff like that. But that video should be coming out either before or after this one. But I'm going to be showing you some of the dumbest purchases that I made this year. I don't really regret a lot of purchases just because, in my opinion, I'm pretty, like, if I don't like something, I can sell it and I'll keep it moving. But some of these were either faulty, so some of it I've either sold, I still have, or I returned. So these are probably the worst purchases that I made this year. These are the ones that like I really question, like, you know, oh my god, Sergio, kind of crazy, because I don't really regret a lot of purchases. Everything that I buy I love, and if I fall out of love with it, I fall out of love with it, I sell it and I keep it moving. But some of these I really am disappointed in either the craftsmanship or the way I purchased it, and it either broke or it didn't wear nice, or some of them were just plain stupid. So I have about 8. Let's go ahead and get started. The first one is gonna be by the title, a t-shirt dress from The Row, and it retailed for $1,450. I did get it on sale for about $450, but I really regret purchasing it because, first of all, so this is the item right here. It is super long. I don't even think I think I showed it in a haul. It's really pretty, but the only thing is it's kind of like an off-white. It is not completely white. It has like a yellowing to it, and so therefore it looks kind of like, I wouldn't use the word dirty. I just feel like it's just not flattering, because when I wear black, I find that the yellow crashes. When I wear white, it makes this look dirty, like I've had it in my closet for a while. It looks good as a single piece, as a dress, but for me, I don't wear dresses. I was wearing it as a third piece. And so the reason why I regret it is because, first of all, white is very easy to get dirty. That goes for my handbags, shoes, and clothing, and I do have other white pieces from The Row, but I feel like I didn't really think this purchase through. I really think I was just, you know, like I said, I would be in that mood where I would be like, I would go into work, I'd be like, oh, like today I feel like spending, you know, a couple $100s, and so I would go on websites, I would go shopping, and I would just kind of buy whatever kind of like spoke to me or kind of like semi spoke to me. And a lot of those items ended up being like, why did you buy that, or something that I wear once. But the thing is, this shirt from The Row is kind of like a little bit of an off yellow. It's really nice, it's good quality. You can take actually the collar off with a non-collar, but with pieces like this, you really take an L, because a lot of clothing from The Row, or a lot of like designer clothing, you don't necessarily really get a lot of your money back. So if anything, I will probably end up selling this for $100, and even then, or $150, even if then somebody does want to buy it. And so I did take an L. I did wear it 2 times, but I really do regret buying this because it is off yellow. If it was completely white, I would have still kept it. I probably would have still worn it, but even by me, I took it to the dry cleaners, and it's just one of those pieces that gets so dirty easily. And normally if it had like 1 or 2 spots, like from my other items from The Row, like I have a Row shirt that has like 1 or 2 little imperfections that I made, that's fine because it's for me, and I don't see myself ever getting rid of it. I'm wearing it until it's done. Something like this is like, you know, it didn't work out for me. It's white, and it's not something that anybody wants to kind of have or purchase. So for me, I regret it. I can't believe I spent $450 on this. this is probably the most dumbest purchase I've ever made. I knew that I shouldn't have purchased it. The moment that I wore it out the first time, I said, oh my god, Sergio, oh my god, you bought like a yellowy shirt dress for $450. So this is probably the worst purchase of the year. I'm not really happy with this purchase at all. But yeah, I'm actually gonna hang this up because I don't want this one to get dirty. T-shirt dress was definitely my walk of shame purchase. The second purchase is gonna be this rose gold mini Givenchy bag. And for me, I love metallic and I love shiny bags, but I always forget why I end up falling out of love with it, or why I end up not liking it. For me, I'm a little bit rough on my items. You know, for me, I think an item's supposed to be meant worn. Some people, you know, they may really take care of their bag. So for example, I mean, yes, I can clean it, but you know, I will take a vanilla bag. It's white, it's a little dirty. You know, I'll clean it with the magic grease once it gets a little bit more dirty, but I don't care if it has a spot or two, because it's more of a smoother leather and it's a little bit harder to tell. But the thing is, with metallic leathers, it's very easy to scratch, and those scratches, for whatever reason, or you know, that does really bother me. I don't know, I feel like in kind of grainy leather it necessarily doesn't really, but in metallic leather it definitely bothers me quite a lot. And so for me, I ended up selling it what I paid for it, but it wasn't a good purchase because I ended up buying those bags like in 50 million other colors, and I just felt like, oh my god, I should get the rose gold one just because I feel like it'll be matchy, it'll be kind of cute to have them all as a little family. And those babies were like almost $300 a pop, and that's like I think $1,500 with the mini bags that I bought, and that's like such a waste of money. I could have been easily, but would have been fine with one or two of them, but the fact that I had to buy them all in every single color was pretty dumb. But I will say the rose gold one was probably my most regrettable purchase. I love the Prada metallic bags. I love the Stella McCartney metallic bags that are like in that kind of like smoother leather. But like I said, one little scratch, one little imperfection, for whatever reason, I just will not wear it. So unfortunately, it's probably one of my worst purchases this year. My next one, which is going to be such a disappointment, and I recently sold this bag to somebody close to me that didn't really care. Like I said, for white bags, I don't care if it has spots or stuff. But this bag, I promise you guys, I only carried 3 times. I will say one time I did take it to the bar, I did take it to the club. I took care of the bag. The bag was in front of me. I wasn't wearing black. I was wearing a button-up shirt. But I've taken my cassette, my Coach pillow, this Tory Burch bag. All my white bags have been to bars and like clubs and dance dinner, unless if it's like a big tote like that. I take all my bags out just because that's something that, you know, I feel like a bag's supposed to be worn. But I will say the fact that I've worn this 3 times is why it's so flat. And this was one of the final purchases that I purchased me working at Nordstrom, and I would never expect this from Saint Laurent, but I knew somebody that close that really wanted the bag. So I ended up selling it to what I paid for, and the person was more than happy to purchase it. I mean, I don't know if she's gonna go to Saint Laurent, try to get it fixed. I really don't know. It's not really my problem. Once I sell it, you know, it is what it is. I'm pretty accurate when I sell things. I'm very upfront, tell you how it is. But it is the white flat bag. You know, I love Saint Laurent. I love their quality. I have Saint Laurent items across the board, from eyewear, footwear, ready to wear, handbags, fragrances, everything. Saint Laurent is probably one of my top 3 favorite brands ever, if I'm being honest. I just love Saint Laurent so much. The fact that in the front where the V, like a piece of the leather popped off, and it's kind of like like an off-white kind of brownish color, kind of looks like the color of the Loewe puzzle bag. And then kind of like on the sides as well. The YSL did have like a little bit of scratches, but that's my fault because when I was doing outfit changes, the bag accidentally fell on the floor, and you know, it is what it is, that's fine. But the fact that it kind of like started chipping and I didn't even wear the bag 3 times for me was gonna say, if I keep wearing this bag, it's gonna be my bag, because no one's gonna want to buy this. Like, it would be different if it was a scuff because I could take it out, but the fact that like the little pieces of like leather started kind of like coming out a little bit, I said was going to continue to do it on the corners, on the rest of the bag. So for me, just don't think it's worth me having, especially if once it happens like 2 or 3 more times. Once it starts happening and it bothers me, I'm not going to wear the bag, and no one's going to want to purchase it. Not even like $400, $500, because it's like pretty noticeable. Like I said, she may have taken it to Saint Laurent, they may have fixed it. I didn't, because it just kind of like it kind of already bothered me. I was kind of like already upset. I got rid of the bag. It's really sad because I really like it and I love Saint Laurent. This, I will say, this is the first item ever from Saint Laurent that I've ever had any quality issues. I'm grateful that I was able to break even on it. Like, I was just, you know, good, here you go, it is what it is. But it was really disappointing to see that from Saint Laurent because I've never had that from Saint Laurent. Like I said, I've had many items from Saint Laurent that I still have or that I've sold, and it's the first time that I've ever experienced something like that. Next regrettable purchase was this Lana necklace, and if you guys remember, I bought this S necklace during the summertime. I bought it for $660. I did get my Nordstrom discount on it. I got it for 20% off. I wanted it so bad. Well, I wanted the Roberto coin one. I was like, you know what, the Roberto coin one, I would have to special order it. It's gonna take like 12 weeks. Why not just order the Lana and call it a day? And that's what I did, and I should have just purchased the Roberto coin one that I wanted. Now I have this Roberto coin one. This one's like a little bit of diamonds throughout it, and I actually really like this one a little bit more just because it's a little bit cute and dainty, and I always get compliments on it. But for me, this Lana necklace, guys, and I also had like other Lana necklaces as well. Honestly, guys, I don't know where they're at. I don't know if I misplaced them. I don't know if they ended up in a dry cleaner. I don't know if I washed them and they actually got washed away. I don't know, but I'm moving out pretty fast from this apartment pretty soon, so when I start cleaning out, I'm pretty sure they're gonna come out somewhere. Pretty disappointing with this purchase because I purchased this necklace 3 times. Well, the first time that I wore it, it was gay pride weekend, and I was out with my friend, and I was just like literally walking and feeling myself. And literally, guys, the necklace literally broke. The necklace broke off in the middle, and some guy said, hey, I think you dropped something, and it was part of my necklace that fell. It was really embarrassing. The fact that it's Lana, it's a beautiful jewelry brand, but I will say Lana, even when I worked at Nordstrom, would always kind of have break. It really wasn't durable. Yes, it's dainty, yes, it's beautiful, but the fact that I didn't even notice, and the necklace wasn't even on the shortest setting, it was on the longest one, and it would hit me right here, so even when I sneeze or something, the necklace wouldn't move at all. But the fact that it broke, and then I reordered it, and then it broke again, and then I reordered it, and then I got another one, and it broke, and I said, finally, guys, after 3 necklaces of getting broken, I said, I cannot do this anymore. I cannot have these necklaces breaking, because what happens if I don't notice, and then I'm out of $600. $600 is, no, $660 plus tax. I'm out of like $720, $700. That's a lot of money. And so I ended up returning it, and it was such a disappointment. The next one is going to be obviously the Chanel Dad sandal. That's something that I did regret buying, and I can't believe that I was so scary to return it. I went to the Chanel boutique. They made me very upset. To my car, and I cried. I waited like 2 hours in line just for the lady to be so dismissive, saying that's not my problem, it's wear and tear, and you know, I'm basically stuck with the shoe. I did get my discount, I did get 20% off of it, but I was just pretty upset that that happened. And then I went to Dino's, and then I went to like other shoe places, and I tried to talk to the designer shoe manager, and I had to wait until the store manager came. Like, it was such a whole process for me to return these shoes. And so the store manager ended up returning them, and I'm grateful that she returned them, because I was gonna have to do a chargeback through my Amex if they weren't gonna get returned. I was careful. I know people were telling me, well, you wore them like every day since you purchased them. The shoes weren't even 2 weeks old since I purchased them, and I didn't wear them every single day. My coworkers were being kind of very shady. They were being kind of very rude, saying, well, you wear them every day, that's wear and tear. I'm like, that's not wear and tear. I said, wear and tear is when you use a pair of shoes and within a year, maybe it happens if you wear them every day or very consistently. You can wear them every day for 2 weeks, as long as it's not like a crazy embellishment shoe or something like that. It shouldn't break. And so for me, you know, I also got questions, well, you had a wide foot. I know people that have wider foots than me that are women, and it was just like people were trying to like shame me that I was returning them when you can't, there's nothing you can do about it. I'm like, I'm gonna return them. Like, they are $1,300 shoes. Like, I do not want to have these crusty shoes, because if I were to get them modified on the side, it was quilting, so they would have to put a patch of leather, and I'm sorry, like, that is not cute. Like, that looks very improper. And like I said, I like my things to kind of look very pristine and crisp. So I did regret that I purchased them. I should have listened to more reviews, and when I posted that video, I had quite a bit of you DM me on Instagram, and that's why I said, I went into the store and I said, well, I know other people that have had this issue with the exact same shoe. and she was very dismissive, very rude, very disrespectful. And it was the last purchase that I made from Chanel, was that. I still will purchase Chanel, I just probably won't purchase Chanel footwear going forward. I'll just be a little bit more picky on my Chanel purchases. Another pair of shoes got returned in the same size, and one of my coworkers was offering them, well, Sergio, do you want them? They're your size, you know. And I said, unfortunately, through all the experiences that I went through, all the hoops, I said, I do not want this to happen again, so I'm gonna have to decline, and I didn't purchase the Chanel Dad sandals. My next regrettable purchase is this shirt, and this is the shirt from Off-White, and it is black. It has the white, it's a black t-shirt, it says off for Off-White. In the back it has purple, and it has kind of like this corally color. It's a men's shirt. I don't know what size this is. I believe it's a size small. Reaches for $3.35. I ended up buying it at Nordstrom Rack for like $120 or $30. And the reason is because the next day I was going to go to Chicago, and I was like, this would be cute. I really just bought it for the price. I don't really even like Off-White at all. It's my least favorite designer brand. I think it's like not my style, and I just really a big fan of Virgil, if you ask me. I know that's like such an unpopular opinion. He's just not my favorite designer, and I just kind of bought it just for fun, just for in the moment. But I will say I've only worn it like one time, and I've never worn it ever since March. And I just kind of bought it just because it was on sale, and it wasn't even because it was my style. And when I start selling things in my wardrobe, I really think about, like, I really bought things just because I had a Nordstrom discount. I didn't really buy things for my personal style. I mean, yes, I would, you know what I mean? Like, these bags behind me are more my personal style, but I did buy like a lot of things that were like not my style, and I would just buy it just because it was on sale, just because it was cheap, or it was at Nordstrom Rack and I got an extra discount, or clear the rack and then my discount, and then it was already at Nordstrom Rack. Like, I would really buy things that didn't really define my style. And now that I don't work there anymore, I'm really starting to find my own style, and it's very easy to get sucked into that consumerism of buying so much stuff. Like, almost every single shift I would buy at least something, whether if it's a face wash or spending, you know, a couple $100 or $1,000 a trip. And all my coworkers vouch for me for that. So next regrettable purchase is going to be a pair of shoes from the Row. And if you guys follow my channel in January, you guys saw me unbox these, and I got these for about like $250, or I think with my discount. I think we'll be selling these on my Poshmark. I bought these because I really wanted this pair, but back then I just didn't feel like spending. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I would buy things to compromise it, but I always wanted the other thing. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of bad to kind of like settle if you really want something and it's within reason, which I could have really kept the shoes. I should have just kept the ones that I wanted, which are these ones. So I ended up buying these because they were on sale, and I was like, you know what, it's gonna get me my Row sandal fantasy. You know, I'll return the other ones that are a lot more expensive, even though the ones that I loved a million times more. Like, I'll just keep these ones and I'll just get the satisfaction. And let me tell you, I've only worn these shoes maybe like 5 times, and I've never worn them ever since I purchased the other ones, which I'll show you. And these are called the Row Swan Flip Flop. And I will say, they look like this. They did bubble a little bit because I did take them swimming. Like, this one's not really that bad, but they did, the sole, yeah, you can see it did bubble up a little bit, and that's my fault. They have this beautiful velvet, but I'm not really a big velvet person. They're in a size 41. Like I said, I've only worn them a handful of times. And here's the other one. This one's a little bit bad. But they're really pretty shoes. Like, they're square toe, están bonitas. Like, they have lots of life left in them, and that's why I'm probably gonna put them on Poshmark. But I bought these because I wanted to substitute them for this pair. And if you've been following me, I've been wanting this pair of shoes for such a long time. And when I was in LA in the summertime, once I realized that, those ones, I just bought them just so I can say that they are the Row, and so I could get these ones off my mind, even though that these ones are the ones I wanted 10 million more times. Like these compare nothing to those, if you ask me, like, for my style. And so, like I said, I'm going to the Rows for them, and I went to the store, and I actually got them before price increase. These, the Row shoes had a price increase. The zippered boots that I want that didn't fit me used to be $12.90, now they're $14.90. And then these shoes went up $100. So these ones, when I bought them, were $7.90, and now they're $8.90. The fact that I chose these ones before I ever purchased Hermes sandals, says a lot, because a lot of people just would have went for the Hermes ones. So I went to the Row Boutique and I bought the Ginza thong sandal. And what I really like about them is that, first of all, they are a smooth leather. At first when I did get them, they did kind of hurt a little bit here, just because I do have a bit of a wider foot, but this leather stretched out a little bit. And this one I've taken them to the beach, the pool, and I've had no bubbling or nothing. It has this beautiful like kind of like white stitching or off-white stitching. I think it's so pretty. I think it's so, and I've been literally loving them so much. They're in a size 42. I took them out of my closet because now they're not in season, now that I'm transitioning into fall winter, but I know next year. These are just the classic. There's so many brands that make a version of this, but there's nothing like the original, and I really wanted them. And so I'm glad that I ended up getting them, because these were my most worn sandals in the summertime. And even like, you can even see my little footsies. You know, these were my most worn shoes, and I love them so much. These and my Chanel dad sandals were supposed to be my designer picks, and then my Tory Burch ones were supposed to be my contemporary picks for shoes. But obviously the Chanel, even when I bought them, I bought the Chanel dad sandals right before I went to LA. I wore them all the way to LA. Once I bought these ones, I wore these ones non-stop. So I got back from Dallas and started wearing my Chanel dad sandals. So these ones right here, I love them. And it goes to show, guys, like, if you really want something, go for the item that you really want, even if it may take you like a little bit of a while to get it. I think this is a prime example of, you know, compromising by getting these ones even though you don't really love them. And even back then when I bought them, I didn't really care for them. I just wanted them because they were the Row, and I felt like, oh, I was gonna save $700 or $600 or whatever to get my needs off of them. But I ended up really purchasing the ones that I wanted, and these are my favorite sandals in my collection. And these are a classic, and I'll get so much wear out of them. Prime example of don't settle for less, for what you really want, even if it may take a little bit of a while. And like I said, back then I was in a position where I was able to keep the other ones. You know, it is what it is. I learned a lesson. And even things that I purchase now, I think about, you know, should I just go for the other one? Should I go for this one? And now I just really go for the item that I want, regardless if it's a little bit more, a little bit less, but within reason. So the Row Ginza sandal, or these Row sandals, were definitely a lesson to be learned. And the last item, guys, is going to be a Bottega Veneta bag that I never even showed on my channel. I immediately regretted the moment that I purchased it. I don't even know why I purchased it. I was so hyped up. I ended up buying this Bottega Veneta bag, and it is the Bottega Veneta Napa knot bag. And I knew that when I took it home, I was like, Sergio, why in the hell did you purchase this handbag? And it was probably because I was like in a Bottega Veneta fix, and I just bought so many Bottega bags, and I was like, you know what, this one's gonna be cute. But when I went home, I looked at my collection. I'm like, Sergio, you have a black Bottega Veneta Jody that's about the same size. Why do you want two similar bags? The other one, the knot one, doesn't even fit a lot. It's a little bit more weird. You're gonna get tired of it more, especially if you're gonna take it to bars and clubs and concerts and traveling. You're gonna get tired of carrying it like that. At least the Jody can go a little bit more on the cookie arm versus the other one's just a top handle. Why did you buy this? And so I ended up selling it to one of my friends that wanted it, and I did get it on sale. It retailed for like $1,200 or $1,400. I think it retailed for $14 or something like that, and I got it for half, and then I just sold it for what I paid for. But it just goes to show you, like, just because it's on sale or like black and classic or whatever, really evaluate what you have in my wardrobe. So it was probably, like I said, that one and like the Row and some of these other items have really kind of shaped my thought processing on the things that I purchase. Now I kind of don't really settle for other things. I settle for what I really want, and like I said, like, obviously within reason. And if it means it's double or triple the price and it's between my means, I'd much rather do that, because at the end of the day I would be more satisfied with it, and I don't feel like, oh, I should have purchased this one instead. Because at the end of the day, if I really did like the item, I'm eventually gonna go back and purchase it. You know what I mean? That's just how I am. And so yeah, guys, these are gonna be my most regrettable purchases of, or these are gonna be my most regrettable, stupidest, or faulty purchases so far in 2021. I don't think I'm gonna have to make this video again, because I think going forward my shopping habits have really changed a lot since I left Nordstrom. This month I spent nowhere near as much as I've done in the past, and I'm really happy and I'm really proud of that. Obviously we're going to go into Q4 holiday season, a lot of shopping, but I'm approaching it in a different way, and I'm very, very happy for that. And when sale season comes around for designer, I'm gonna be very particular in things that I would purchase, just because I'd much rather see that money invested into other things, or that money sitting on my account, or you know, just putting that money towards other things. You know what I mean? I'm in a place where I'm grateful for everything. I have shoes, clothes, whatever, more than I could ever dream of, and I will obviously continue buying more, but it's just from a different standpoint. So I want to say thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully you guys learned a lesson, and let me know if you made any regrettable purchases. I would love to hear it down below. Thank you so much, guys. I love each and every single one of you. Y los miros en la próxima. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.